friends, all you 562 and power saw lovers out there. This is going to be a straight up bucking show. I mean, bucking firewood. You know, bucking me too, but bucking firewood. And we helped this gentleman out, and he made a donation to the SPCA. I didn't, obviously, most of you know I don't charge folks anymore, but through this YouTube channel. But this man here, he wasn't comfortable with that. He wanted to make a donation. I said, well, pick one. We donate to a couple different places, the Covenant House, Samaritan House, food banks. He says, well, I'll donate to the SPCA. So he done that. So good man there, Stewie. So we're just going to dive right into this, friends. Enjoy this content. I'm going to say this right now. This little 562 right out of the box impressed me. I want to thank Husqvarna again. And it showed up at our door, I think last year, early in the year at some point. Kind of surprised me. Anyways, I love you all. Enjoy the video. A little surprise at the end, too.
But it's so... This is so...
Here's the top end of the bar, like stand up and buck style. You got to have a sharp chain and you got to have your rakers dialed for this type of bucking, but it's so freeing and glorious to not have to bend down with your power saws when you're bucking. We all know that resting the dogs in is nice for leverage and that, but when you can just stand up and buck, especially for small wood, bigger wood, it's already at your freaking shins or your knees height, so you just go for it. But small wood is where the stand up and buck comes in the most handy. It's not the big wood. Hey, I just got to do a shout out here, friends. We offered memberships to this community probably about 8 months ago. And listen, Hunter Garden and Matt 407. Fellas and Ben McGuffey, we welcomed you yesterday or the day before. Thank you guys for joining. We're having a blast over there. Let me know how you're doing. I've sent some interesting content over there recently. Just some perks that, well, if you sign up to members, you'll see. But just a quick shout out to my members. I love you folks over there. Thanks so much. Friends, I'm not going to pipe on about this 562, but, well, maybe I will. It is a fantastic saw out of the box. I say this a couple times in this video, but if you got a bunged up shoulder or you want to get some work done and you don't want to pack a big power saw around, this one will do the work. It will do it. So I just love giving this saw a shout out. So, friends, I got to be honest. This size of saw, what the problem usually would be was that you wouldn't be able to pack a long enough bar on it. This style of saw is usually okay with a 28-inch bar, like the 362. You know, the still. Someone sent me he called it a bucking special. It was a still 362. It was ported and it had a muffler on it. Well, Hogan runs that saw now. He loves it. But Husky did something with this saw, and it is robust is the word. But that's Husky in general, is robust. That is a 32-inch lightweight bar with a full house grind on it. Friends, this is one of the best power saws on the market at this time, in my personal opinion. Husky and Still have always been the big two, but this class, this saw is wild. And I'm actually hoping to get it ported again. Me and Scott might revisit this saw. I had the stock one out yesterday, and this one definitely is stronger. But I'm telling you, it doesn't have no problem packing that lightweight bar, but it's got to be lightweight, because a steel, like one of those heavy organ bars, you know, the power match or whatever, would be really hard on this saw.
If you're looking for friends, it's not much different out of the box than it is ported like this with a muffler. It is. I would, but we didn't go crazy on it. Scotty's never ported one, so he ported this one for me. He didn't do a whole bunch. He stayed within the normalities, and it is a lovely saw. It's not as grunty and crazy as your 70cc and 70 high 70 saws, but what a light little beautiful machine. It is pulling a 32-inch bar with no problem. Square ground chain. Don't pass it up, friends. Honestly, it's a beauty. Now we got to shift gears into something big and old. Okay, friends. Well, we're coming down to a different animal. I got Harvey's 86er, but it's a different muffler that we haven't really, well, we haven't tried. I haven't tried. I had a couple cuts with it, and then the pull cord broke, so I got it fixed and I'm ready to go. But we're gonna run this 125 and this bigger stuff. This is the old Mac 125. One of my best running saws. Bear Claw put the ohm meter on it. We got the points. So I make the mistake of sometimes, I'm like, well, maybe it needs more than it does for startup, but it doesn't. The thing is crazy. It's nuts. Okay, on. Choke. I might not even need to choke it. Friends, I'm not joking you. With this saw, sometimes I'll give it a couple of these. I'll turn the compression button on. I'll give it a couple of these. It wasn't long before I had this thing fired up, and I'm not even gonna choke it. I'm just gonna try it. Okay, that means choke. And actually,
So friends, I don't pull these saws out as much as I used to when I was, heavy into running the Max earlier on in the channel. I break them out from time to time, certain saws. This thing's nuts. I'm just gonna warm it up. There's a process to these saws. And I found out, actually, because I think the last time I ran it, I think I ran it out of fuel, and it's not getting bar oil. I took it home and the holes were plugged in the bar. So it's still cutting nice, and I'm gonna share it with you, but to be honest with you, friends, it wasn't getting oil. The chain was tightening up on me. So the first buck is okay, but then the second one, it started to tighten up, and I was pumping oil like crazy to it, and it was all dropping out the bottom. Do you get what I'm saying? It was dropping out the bottom by the clutch. So enjoy, friends. So this is where I notice it. I start pumping it like mad. Friends, this saw has more in it. I don't run these on the ragged edge anymore. I used to when I was younger, but I like them too much. But they're monsters.
Okay, she's not getting oil. So that means my oil's bypassing my bar. So I'm not gonna run it like that. See that? It's fighting the bar, friends. I'm not doing it.
Matt 407, and Hunter Garden. That's weird. Hunter Garden, brother, welcome. Thank you. And Matt 407, little shout out. Appreciate you guys over on the members group. Friends, it's windy, it's sunny. Spring is in full blast here. I was eating my maple broccoli the other day off the porch. It's tasty stuff. Did you know you can eat that stuff?
They're edible. I didn't know this.
The little flowers that come on the maples, you can. Anyway, thanks for being here, friends. Listen, if you're sitting on the fence about a power saw and you're afraid you want to like buy a saw that's, fairly light, and you don't want to buy something too heavy, and you're afraid that if you buy something too small, it won't do the big work, and vice versa, like, you know what I mean? This is the saw. This is the saw, the 562. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to run, I think I've got a 20-inch bar. It came with a 20-inch bar. Well, that's a 32-inch bar. And you can see in this video that there was no problems. It was quite glorious, actually. And yesterday I had my stock saw out. I have two of these. I really like them. I might send my stock one over to Mr. Scotty Wilson. Anyways, glad you're here. Memberships. Join the memberships group, friends. Click on the join button under the video. Pop over. Come and check it out. You won't know until you know. I don't do a lot of promotion about it, but I do talk about it on the odd video, and we are having a blast over there. And it's a side of me that you probably haven't seen here. So if that's interested to you, pop over there. Give it a check out. We love yous. Over and out. Work hard, be honest, and be kind, friends. And don't let this crazy life happen to you. Life's not happening to us, friends. We get to happen to life with the wonderful gift that we were given, which is free choice to do whatever we want. Catch you on the next video.